Got us a team one together with Pharrell Williams as a big old Night Fae Boomy. I mean, he's basically give it away that he's going to be convoking the boys down. We got ourselves Kel'Thas, almost like Kel'Thas Sunstrider. Are you a Blood Oath? You are a Blood Oath. We got ourselves Anto as a big old DK. Oh, Unholy DK too. I like that green on the... I actually like the Mog. I like that set overall. I really like the Legion set. I want to get a full set. I need that set in my life. We got ourselves Archie as an enhancement with Sojiro as a big old arms warrior looking to just steamroll of the boys. We got Bat Toro as a Kyrian Paladin with Kreisbat in the back as a Destro G-Funk as survival. We got us as mods over as a Red as well as Oily Time or Ollie Time. I kind of like Oily Time, but I guess it is Ollie Time. I kind of like, why is he as undead with straight up classic gear over his chest and pants named Ollie Time, kind of looking like Oily Time. I feel like that's just kind of fitting. Something about it is just fitting. Looks like it is going to be mods first up. Charging in versus Archie as he got himself Ghostos up and running and everything. Big damage coming down from all the bad is going to be Judgment. Mods with a... I don't see that sword ever. That's a unique looking weapon. Except Seraphim kind of covers it. Gonna be Archie taking a bit of damage. Final verdict, everything wild and Ghost Wolf maybe playing out. No, he's not. I was gonna say maybe playing out to the Ghost Wolf, stacking damage debuff, the DR effect, but no, the Earth Shield kind of gives it away. He's playing the normal Earth Shield build. Gonna be mod stuck in the Chain Totem. Kind of kept on fence, the fence, chain, the I guess electric fence totem. You guys told me before. Is it not Chain Link Fence Totem or Chain Link Totem? It's Chain something totem. I forget what it is. Blind or Archie. Got a trinket out of it. Try to go for a big old Chain Harvest. Potentially maybe you're looking for that crit. Or this is mods and mods. Gotta go for the bubble. He needs to get himself a bit of a reset. Mods, how you looking? We got us a bubble. No trinket. No shield of it. Trying to go for some holy power. Went very aggressive. And Archie is going to punish that aggressive play. No healing. Zapping him down. Taking him out of the game. Is it G-Funk up next? Look like he's ready to go, but they're trying to figure out who's going to be up next or up first. With Archie taking on the first one up and running. That man called Ollie. About to kick off people in the skateboarding. Ollie time. Wait, Ollie? It is Ollie time. You're right. G-Fuck with a big Kyrian setup. Might go for a big harpoon versus Archie. Archie stuck up there with a pet. Gonna go for some damage. It's gonna be G-Fuck harpooning in, getting him for big damage after. That Kyrian does let you basically materialize through the bridge. Feign death by G-Fuck for a second. Taking a bit of heavy damage from Archie. Archie with massive heal and G-Fuck with a sippy cup. Trying to get himself a little bit of survivability. I wonder what kind of a soulbind G-Fuck is running. Because there are some really good soul binds for the night for the Kyrian. There is the auto sippy cup whenever you get low as Mechanicos. There's a 20% DR effect if you're Clay, and I feel like a healing over time effect, or maybe the heal over time is with Peligos, but there are some ways to modify that thing, so it's actually pretty good. Scare Beast onto the pet, gonna be a stun by G-Fuck onto Archie as G-Fuck gets low on health. And that's going to be many benefits to follow while inside of the turtle shell. Archie is sitting in Ghostal form. He has Ghostal, so G-Fuck Big Chain Harvest does not get the big crit that he wanted. Archie is going to get rooted by that bonding shop, and G-Fuck is going to have the line of sight versus Archie going for a big old harpoon. Was that a flanking strike? Or is that a harpoon? I can't tell. Is it a harpoon? Did he harpoon to him, or is that a flanking strike? Because flanking strike has a bit of a charge. G-Fuck trying to see if he can disengage out of the chain fence totem. But is going to end up getting a freezing trap onto Archie as he goes in for a big old haymaker burst, trying to make the big wind up hammers do a lot of damage. And is at least surviving for now. G-Fuck kind of out of defenses. Archie getting him hit with a stun. Does Archie have any big setup going on? Does he have Wind Fury? Is going to sneak in a heal in between. G-Fuck trying to go for an interrupt, missing it by hair. Got himself the what is it? Astra Eagles flying trinket out of Archie. Might have the big burst for G-Funk. Feign death, but G-Funk not actually dead. Throwing down the trap, but that's still afraid. Lightning bolt ready for Archie. He was just already waiting. Like, no, is it actually dead? Is it not dead? Zap, taking him out. Batora going in for biggest damage ever. Hodge into Archie. Final verdict, everything. Archie with that wall. Does he have the survivability? He is fighting off against a Retribution Paladin with defenses and offenses online. Trying to go for a Hex. Is that a Trinket? Maybe. Trying to see if he can move. Is going to get the big point out of the way. Can he just use the mobility just to outrun it? Batora popping off a bubble just so he can get immunity to cheese damage versus Archie. Big defensive out. Batora taking so much damage out of the Wind Fury procs. Chain Harvest, and that's going to be a Sunder onto onto the Paladin and just gonna turn him or try to at least make him tiny. And the guy just bailed before he even got shrunk. Try to see if he could suck the soul out of the Paladin, and he didn't even get shrunk. Oh my god. The enemy warrior has 67k fleshcraft. He's max speed 57k. Disgusting. Wait, the warrior has like 100,000 health, you're saying? That's insane. Archie taking lots of damage from all the time with the cheap shots back to back. Try to go for a heal. Ninterrupt going to be very, very late for Ollie. Very late, but it's going to be Ollie time. Cloak of Shadows going for the reason as wolves are on, and Fleshcraft is going to be channeled. The wolves are trying to bite through it as fast as they can. Is Ollie playing Merilith? It doesn't look like he is. Trying to go for Shackle versus Archie, who sunders it. Disarm onto Archie. He doesn't really have his storm. Going in Ascendance. I think he tried to see if he can go Ascendance maybe with Wind Strikes, but I think he still needs weapons in order to get those Wind Strikes flying. This is going to get himself a heal. Going to be a bit of damage for Ollie time as he goes for a full reset versus Archie. Seeing that Ascendance, he doesn't want to touch him. He'd rather just go for a setup, get him low, reset up. Just go for a bit of dance. Dude, he is playing out as classic of a rogue as he can. Kidney shot, do a bunch of damage, blind while he's low, triple sap, maybe open up with a cheap shot after. He's going to open up a cheap shot as Archie, I think, trying to go for a heal. Is going to set up a healing stream totem. Potentially could still get a big heals. Has plenty of mana, just use the Maelstrom Sunder, and Rogue is going to trick out of the Sunder. Archie with a bit of healing. Looks like all the time is playing the Aramir Soulbind, so you got that extra damage. So if you get Archie in low health, he's going to have damage repeating over and over. Ollie trying to see if he can get out of the fence. He's stuck together with the Shaman. Does it and disarm before the capacitor totem goes off. Stunning Ollie, shocking his whole body. Ollie taking big storm strikes though. Is going to vanish out of it to get the hell out of the dodge. Ollie turning to the eye immediately. Does he know where Ollie's at? If he gets the right angle to see where Ollie is, he could potentially frost shock him or flame shock him. He's trying to be careful. Trying to be thorough. Does he know where the rogue is at? He definitely should. And Ollie lands that sap before the Shaman finds him out. That's going to be a flesh cut while sap is up on Archie. It was a cheap shot to follow. Archie is coming into this duel though versus Ollie. Full offensive cooldowns available. Ghost Wolves to join the fight. Does someone want to Archie? Does he trinket this wall? Ghost Wolf just going to sit, get some healing while in Ghost Team. Got himself a little bit of healing. Healing surges to follow, chilling, big spirit. That's going to be a big stun, big totem. With a stun, Ollie is going to go for a Cloak of Shadows against all these totems. Doesn't want to deal with it whatsoever. As Archie trying to get himself some damage in. Sunder onto Ollie. Big chain harvest with a blind thrown in. That's going to be the frost shock by the Shaman. Chasing after Ollie. This is where he commits everything. And that's going to be that cheat death by Ollie. Trying to maximize the damage while cheat death is up. Might be able to make the duel for the next person a little bit easier. Archie got someone to at least build some Maelstrom off of. And while Ollie does only do 50% less damage while he's in that cheat death, maybe he can get health for Archie low enough. Maybe get some CDs, something, anything. So Kreisbert might have an easier time with it. Archie versus Kreisbert. So far, the Shaman has been trucking 1v4. He's going to dodge away from the succubus. He knows where that thing is at. He's going to hang out next to it, build some resource off it, interrupt the succubus while Kreisbert got that big long-range damage. The Earth Elemental gets hit with the banish, but I think Archie still gets the benefit of the Earth Elemental, so that thing isn't disappearing. It just CC'd. Big Ascendance versus Kreisbert. Probably going to go for a lot of mobility. Going to be a big old succubus CC. I think he's just trying to wait out the cooldowns from Archie. Well, especially while Ascendance is up. That's exactly what he's going to do. He's just going to go for Soul Shape. Could have went for the big port to port across with the gateway. But instead, he's just going to kite him out. Still, a big Earth Elemental is available. Kreisbert get hit with a static totem. And not going to be able to go anywhere. Maybe can port out. Does he have the port available very soon? Mortal Coil into Archie with a fear right after. Sending maybe a second fear. No, Chaos Bolt instead. It is going to hit the big old Chaos Bolt. Archie has a pre-wall for it. Trying to purge all the buffs from Kreisbert. Definitely is ready to take the gate whenever he needs to. Trying not to get interrupted. Sunder for a second. Shadow Fury is going to stun him with the Cataclysm right after. Bonds are fell, so Archie, if he's going to chase, he's going to have to break the bonds. Or they stay over there with the Succubus. It looks like Archie is choosing to stay over there with the Succubus. At least for the time being. Kreisbert wants to make sure there's as much range between him and the Shaman. The longer the range, the better. Go on to the wolves, get a hit with a fear, running way out. And that's going to be a Chaos Bolt into Archie, doing a bit of damage, but Archie got plenty of mana. Dampening, got 26% dampening. Door of Shadows, no way for Kreisbert to interrupt it. Tried to maybe go for a Hex on Kreisbert instead. Mordical running in the direction with the Cataclysm. Archie trinkets it, interrupted Kreisbert on fire, but now Kreisbert has the freedom to cast Sundering Stutters that cast for Bonds of Fell. It's going to go for the totem onto Kreisbert, stun onto Kreisbert to follow. Archie next to Kreisbert for now. It's going to go for a big port. Still has the portal, big gateway if he wants to take it. Does he actually wait? Did he already take the gateway or not? Let's go Christ, but with a Cataclysm jumping down, and I don't know if he has mobility or not. Let's see how port dropping down Infernal onto Archie with a fear. That Infernal most likely is gonna break that fear. Oh no, looks like Infernal walked away a little bit too far. No longer immolating onto Archie, trying to see if he can dodge the shot of fear, trying to stay mobile. Big cannonball flying. That's gonna be Archie, gonna be hurting a little bit here, but Christ also hurting a bit. Bonds of most likely has a port available, is gonna get the port. With a drain life onto Archie, who's going to dip behind the pillar. Healing surges, trying to get himself some Maelstrom. Wall is up there, 1% dampening. Trying to heal as much as possible. No more mana. So for Archie, he might be in a really bad spot right now. Going to be Mortical with a drain life. As Kreisbet is prepping himself for the next duel. That's going to be a pretty big heal with a crit for Archie. With a Succubus CC to follow a Kreisbet, unless he has a big old Casball and a big setup. Get himself that max range Cataclysm, big Chaos Bolt. Going to be Archie with the Earth Shield. So at least he's going to be able to get a bit of healing. Has a Succubus to at least build Maelstrom. So he's going to be okay. As long as he gets those heals through Maelstrom, he'll be okay. Static Totem onto Kreisbet. At least keeps him in place. You're going to have a little bit of that line of sight over the Shaman, but can't really go anywhere. Actually, a nice use of the Totem to kind of boop him back in. Still continuing to get Maelstrom off the pet fear onto Earth Elemental. Succubus CC is just trying to close the gap. That's going to be a big old Casball flying over Archie with a stun to follow. Archie's in a bad spot right now. Could be an Infernal join the fight too. Archie needs that Maelstrom. Going to drop down a healing totem. Trying to go for a healing surge. No Maelstrom, so it's not going to get amped up. 54% dampened. Archie is living and dying by the healing. And the longer we get into dampening, the better it's going to be for Kreisbad. Unless Archie can go for some great setup, dodging the Cataclysm, which is going to put him a little ahead. That is going to be a cooldown for Kreisbad, and quite a bit of damage for Kreisbad too. Charidora Shadow is going to be a Succubus. Trinkets out of the Succubus CC, slows onto Archie. Kreisbad trying to see if he can kill that totem, is going to be able to eliminate it. Archie with a Battlemaster Trinket for extra health, Mortal Coil into a fear, no pre-tremor, but looks like Kreisbad is going to be dipping under. He wants to go for the big port. He's trying to lure Archie. He's definitely going to go for a port. Try to go with the Bonza fell around the corner, interrupted on it, sundered by Archie. Does he follow up with the stun totem? He does not. Kreisbet is going to get a big old port out of there. And Archie looking for a bit of reset. Has a Succubus or at least generate some Maelstrom. 59% dampener. He needs all his heals to crit if he wants to live this. Kreisbad still pushing in. 50 minutes into this duel. Archie, is this going to be his game? Succubus CC, at least Archie isn't spending mana, so at least he's recovered some mana. You're going to need it for those Chaos Bolts, Bonds of Fell, and a Cataclysm. At least Succubus nearby to provide some Maelstrom. Wall is up for Archie. As Kreisbad walking in his face. Looks like Kreisbad is just way up in Archie's face. Just kind of brazenly walking at him. Big port up. He's going to go for a drain life on the pet's nose. That the Shaman is coming around the other side of the ramp. Kreisbad is going to try to avoid him as best he can. Hitting him with the curses to slow him. Going to go for that soul shape out of the totem. I think he actually was technically soul shape as the totem dropped. So he was technically outside of the totem. But I don't know if soul shape would let you blink past it. Would it? I wonder how that'll work. Archie just needs to find a way to just set up the most amount of bursts all at once. He needs Ascendance, everything. Gonna be the Wind Fury totem, but gonna be a Succubus CC. Kreisbad took down Wind Fury totem, but still giving Archie all the damage, all the setup, and looks like as long as he can CC the Ascendance, then he'll be okay. Archie looking to JPS down. The Succubus does kill the Succubus. Kreisbad could go for a Fell Domination to summon one. Looks like he's just gonna summon a freebie. No, just go Fell Dom one. Just gonna Fell Dom one either way. Bonds are fell. Going to be Archie taking a bit of damage from the Bonds. No health at all. I think it's over. Kreisbad taking him out. Is it going to be Kreisbad's game? Because so far, Archie did such a good job. So it's going to be Sojiro up next with a big banner. Avatar, everything. Kreisbad going for the big old port away. Maybe does he have any mobility left? Fear with a wall. Sojiro is going to blaze storm out of it just to give himself a bit of immunity. Wait now for the wall to be done for Kreisbad. Looking to land those big executes. He got the full Avatar, banner, build. Everything is ready to go. Trinkets out of the CC. Leaping on top of Kreisbad with the fear. Going to be a trinket for Kreisbad with Infernal as it comes down with a full setup. Does he have the port available? Does he have the gateway? I think it's over. Sojiro taking him out. Oh my goodness. Archie did so much healing. I guess he did have to go for a lot of healing when playing against Kreisbad, right? He had to go for resets and just live. But this man has played as hard as he could do, doing the very best. Doing the very, very best that he can. Alrighty.